Yo, Michael. Michael, guess what? We got a new social media intern today. And I prefaced before he came into this building that he better wear a suit. And somebody thought I was joking. Can you believe that? They're like, oh, Wesam, he doesn't have to wear it. I'm like, he's wearing a suit to the first day. I believe in professionalism, and God help him if he doesn't wear a suit. And guess what? Sam Jenkins wore a suit today, and I have a lot of respect for him for that. Did you know that, Michael? Michael?
I did not.
No, you don't. Michael doesn't have his mic on, and that's fine. He didn't expect me to talk to him, but I love talking with Michael in the beginning of these things. He's like my conscience.
Am I?
Yes, Michael. Man, a few words. Our guest today is my fellow co-star on For the People, JASMIN Savoy Brown. I'm so excited to have her on. It's going to be pretty interesting because we have the same type of humor, and it gets dark at times, and I love that. Like dark and absurd humor. So that should be fun. Real quick before we start, some people have tweeted at me and messaged me saying, hey, I want to listen to the whole podcast, or I can't listen at this time while it's broadcasting on Adobe, or hey, I have stuff to do at, 3:30 or 6:30 or wherever you're listening at. Well, you can subscribe to us on iTunes, and then you can listen to the whole episode, which goes on for more than an hour, on your own time. And then you can subscribe and review and rate us. But you better rate us 5-star. I think we're a 5-star show. What do you think?
Yes, we are.
Michael, try not to talk so much, okay? Jesus. I'm kidding. Hey, guys, let's give a big round of applause. Don't give a round of applause if you're driving, because that'll cause some problems. And let's give just give it up for JASMIN Savoy Brown. Get it.
Got it.
Get it.
I got it. I have it in my pocket. It's mine now.
Welcome, JASMIN.
Thank you, Wesam.
Right off the bat, what does it feel like not driving a death trap in Los Angeles nowadays?
What do you mean?
Your scooter.
Oh, yeah. It feels really good. I'm cruising. I got a new car, y'all. I hadn't had a car since 2015.
That's
I went
a while.
2 years without any vehicle. No, a year and a half. Then I had my scooter.
Right.
Now I have a car.
You were driving, dude. You drove that scooter on the lot. I'm like, oh, that's dangerous. Like literally the first thing that's she's gonna die if she keeps doing that.
Yeah. Did I tell you why I actually stopped riding?
Mary Howard.
That's why I pretended to stop riding, but I still was.
Okay.
So I had my permit for a year. I didn't have my license. I had my permit, and I was on my way to get my license, my motorcycle license, last November. And I was riding, and this car was next to me, and he was like nice and waved. And I let him get in front of me, and then another car got in front of me, and then both those cars got in an accident. 2 cars in front of me. Someone ran the red, T-boned the first guy. It spun, hit the other chick in front of me, and it was chaos. Everyone survived. I left and gave a statement. But if I hadn't traded spots with that guy, I would have died. So I didn't get my license. I drove right back home, and I haven't been back on since.
JASMIN, that's like a Final Destination
I
flash.
know. It was a flash or a sign from God, if you believe in God, whatever. It was scary. So I stopped riding.
I'm so glad you're not riding anymore.
Me too.
Literally,
I miss it, but I'm glad too.
Literally every single person I know in Los Angeles who rides a motorcycle has gotten into an accident.
Really?
And I have a friend recently, and he's recovering now. He survived. Broken neck, broken back.
Oh my gosh.
His brain swelled up where they had to remove a chunk of his skull, like a plate of it, put it in his stomach. So this is why they removed it. So because his brain was swelling, and it needed room to swell. They couldn't keep the swelling down, and so they're like, okay, when it stops swelling, we'll put the plate back on, or his skull, the skull, part of the skull back on, but we have to keep it in his stomach because otherwise his body will reject it if we keep it out. Which I never knew.
I didn't know that either. Oh my gosh.
Anyway. It's very dangerous.
Yeah, it is.
And it's usually the other the person who's not riding the motorcycle.
Definitely. The few times I almost got hit, it wasn't my fault. I'm glad to be done. It was just the universe or God or whatever giving me what I needed for a year because I couldn't afford a car, and I had an opportunity to buy the scooter, and I stayed safe that long, and then
I'm thankful you're safe.
Me too.
And I'm thankful you're driving a car with airbags.
It does. It has airbags. It has seatbelts. The brakes work. My last car, the brakes stopped working at a certain point.
How's the sound system?
It's so good.
It's nice, isn't it?
So nice.
Yeah.
Oh, I love driving. I drive all the time now. I'm like, I'm just going to go on a drive. It's so fun.
It's automatic, right?
It's automatic. Heated seats.
Heated?
Sirius XM radio. I didn't even know what that was. I have that now.
It's cool, the heated seats, but, I mean, do you ever use them in Los Angeles, California?
Yes.
What?
I know. I'm from Oregon. I used to play in the snow in a swimsuit. Like, I had cold blood.
That's all the time we have today. What? Who are you?
An Oregonian, okay? Like, we wouldn't even use umbrellas in the rain, but now...
Snow in your swimsuit?
Yeah.
That's pretty
weird.
intense.
I know, but that's just what you do as a kid to, like, prove you're tough.
Not by the coast. You're in more of the mountain areas?
Like 2 hours east of the coast. Yeah, some more mountainy situations. And now in LA, it gets under 68, and I'm like crying from freezing cold. I use my heated seats every night.
It's amazing how quickly your body and your mind adapts to where you're living.
It's amazing, and also it's kind of sad.
Yeah, but I mean, if you started living in Norway, give it a year.
Yeah.
If you're a strong enough person.
Oh, I'd be back out there with my swimsuit in the snow.
Sometimes, though, like, where you live, it could just be such a shithole that you're like, you know what? I'm not going to live in Phoenix. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, people in Phoenix. Listen, Phoenix itself,
admire Phoenix living folks.
It's too hot for me. And people love that.
I can't.
But it's too much. It's too much.
And there's scorpions.
You have a fear of scorpions?
They can kill you. The little babies, they can kill you.
Which genus are they?
Yes.
This is not a smart show, Jasmine. I am a moron.
You're not.
I really am stupid.
You're a very smart
ignorant.
person.
I'm ignorant. I sound...
Well,
I can sound smart
we're
sometimes.
all ignorant. Also, I meant to bring you something, and I forgot.
What?
I got you a wrap gift. I never gave it to you. And then I was listening to this audiobook yesterday, and it reminded me that I never gave it to you.
What? You did, the For the People shot.
Something else. Something for you personally.
Oh, my
I'm
gosh.
telling you now, even though it's not here. When I was in Chinatown that day, and I went to that donut place that you love.
Yes. Cafe Dulce.
Cafe
Shout
Dulce.
out.
Oh, it's so good. I was just walking through, and there's this little, like, trinket and bookstore, and I found this book of, like, Chinese proverbs about warriors.
Oh.
In English, and I read one of them, and it was so interesting. You might already have it.
No, Yes, I have all those Chinese proverbs.
I was like, should I text him and see if he has it first? And if he doesn't want it, I'll read it.
The cafe, I think the Cafe Dulce location is in Little Tokyo.
Little Tokyo.
Yes. But it kind of concerns me if I'm 30 and I'm sounding like an old man most of the time. I'm like, there's a great analogy for this, or there's a great old saying for that. What am I going to be like if I get to like 70 or 80?
He'll be Mahatma Gandhi.
Nah, that's
I
a little much.
mean, maybe so.
I can't go on a hunger strike. My tummy controls things.
Yeah, no, I don't think you could either. I don't think so.
First off, I love what you're wearing today. You
Thank
showed me
you.
what your shirt
Yes.
was.
I don't know if you can.
If you're on the YouTube
see it.
watching this, or
There, now
for our
you can see
podcast listeners, it says "Together We Rise" and it has all the colors
Fists.
of. It's just differently colored to represent different people.
We got brown, orange, yellow, rainbow, red, white, and blue. Which one are you?
I don't know actually. I don't think I'm represented on your shirt. Okay.
Wow, we gotta
The
burn
tan?
it. Burn
The tan
shirt.
one?
You're probably tan.
Yeah, I like the red. No, I don't know.
I'm rainbow.
You're rainbow. Okay. I'm blue. I like blue. What's blue? Who are the blue people?
Is like cold-blooded.
Okay.
You're like a lizard.
Oh.
It represents not just people,
I know.
but also lizards.
I gotta do a quick shout out. Speaking of shirts and stuff like
Yes.
that. Our social media intern for the day, Sam Jenkins.
Sam Jenkins in the hot pink tie.
Okay, I love busting people's balls, especially people I love. I love being mean to people I love. And I love for them to be mean back to me. It's just a thing. And Sam's a little younger than me. And we've had some good talks. And Tia, our another producer on the show, she runs social media with Taylor. She was like, hey, I've got Sam coming in, filling in on one of the Saturdays. We can't make it in. So I was like, oh, Sam Jenkins. Cool. And she's like, yeah, he'll be coming to the podcast this Saturday. And I'm like, awesome. Have him wear a suit. So mean. Like, why? We're all casually dressed. Why would I do that to him? And she's like, ha, 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 ha. And I'm like, no, have him wear a suit. And then, like, this morning, I said, God help him if he's not wearing a suit.
Oh, my gosh.
And he wore a suit, and I respect
He looks
that.
killer in it.
He came in stunning, shining like an angel. And Sam, thank you for representing the podcast in a positive way. I appreciate that. And if you didn't wear a suit, I would have made.
Flip?
Oh my gosh!
You would have ruined his day.
Oh, made you cry, Sam. If you didn't wear a suit, I don't care. I'm rich now. We're on For the People. We're rich. Prime time, baby. God help you if you don't wear a suit next Saturday. I'm kidding.
Every day for the rest of 2018.
I'm just kidding. And by the way, I had to say this with Brett on the last show. We're just kidding when we say we're rich.
Oh, yeah. We are kidding. We are not rich.
I'm not rich.
I'm not rich. But you know what? 19-year-old me thinks I'm rich. 19-year-old me moved here with $2,000, and I felt rich then.
Yeah.
I was just talking about this the other day. I don't know how I did that.
You moved to LA when?
When I was 19 in 2013.
And $2,000 in your pocket.
$2,000, and then I got here and I paid rent. That was $800. And then I was like, yeah, I'm gonna sign up for this acting class. That was $400. Bought some groceries, suddenly had $500 left, and I was like, I'm still rich. The things you do, but that was what I had to do. That's what I needed to do, you know. But now,
did you work a day job?
Not at the time. At the time, I was really lucky. I had booked 2 national commercials in Seattle
awesome.
right before I moved.
Yeah.
So that helped me for like the first year, and then I got several day jobs, most of which I had for 3 weeks exactly before they fired me. American Apparel was 3 weeks. Starbucks was 3 weeks. Mel's Drive-In was 3 weeks.
Why did they fire you?
Because I'm not a good employee, unless it's something that I love.
Oh, why'd they fire me? I wasn't good at what they were telling me to do.
my job. I did. I have ego around not doing something that I'm proud of. And I didn't want to be doing that. So, like, I just didn't give it my all. Like, I give this my all. And I put auditions first, so I was late all the time.
Right.
It's not something I'm necessarily proud of, but I also, because I'm someone that fully commits, if I fully committed to my day job, I wouldn't be on the show. You know what I mean? I would have got swept up in it. So I had to not really care about it, and I had to just get fired all the time in order to, like, have the space in my heart and in my life for my acting. It's probably a terrible approach, but it worked for me.
Well, it's so funny you should say that. Reggae, in episode 2 of our podcast, we actually discussed this kind of approach to somebody.
I need to listen to that.
And we were on what we thought were 2 ends, like 2 opposite ends of this, but we realized we were saying the same thing just in a different way. And we realized he kind of leans more towards your one way, and I kind of naturally lean towards the other. And if you go back and re-listen to it, basically, I'm on the mindset of, and it might be a little different. Like, even, let's say you're doing a job that's not like what you want to do, right?
Yeah.
But it's like, I got to pay the bills with this. Granted, you're not going to be like the fucking all-star of folding jeans at the Gap.
Right.
Right. But there is a certain amount of, like, discipline associated with that, which I really appreciate when I see somebody. I'm like, dude, I really, like, he's going above and beyond, or he's, like, really doing his job well. And he was just like, no, it's cool. It's not their end goal, so it's cool if they just are lax on it. And
so interesting.
Very interesting. And so we got into it a little bit, but then we realized there was a middle ground, too, with that. And I think I started off with saying something like, unmitigated discipline in all activities. And he's like, no,
not at all. In the couple that you want there to be.
Only in your passion. He was like, only in your passion. But
I respect that. I think what it comes down to is you just have to do what's true to you. Like, you have
Yeah.
to have that unmedicated discipline. It sounded like I said unmedicated. Unmitigated discipline. Don't medicate your discipline. You have to have that. Otherwise, you aren't living your truth. And then you're not going to bring your full self to the rest of your life and your passion and your auditions if you're not living your truth in your life. Whereas if I have to do the opposite because that's my truth.
Right.
That's what I think.
No,
you know?
I totally agree. I think there's extreme value in living in your truth, and sometimes it's your truth isn't just, oh, I know what my truth is. It's right here. And I feel like you have to go through some kind of job you don't like and try doing it well. See what happens. What do you learn about yourself? Or you have to go through like really shitty times, and then you're like, okay, this sucks. Am I going to let this, ruin my future, or am I just going to make this, this is part of who I am, and I'm going to grow from it. I think those times are really important. I think shitty jobs are perfect. If I have kids in the future, and hopefully I'm still financially stable and everything's good. Still rich. Still fucking prime time.
Season 10.
If I have kids, I'd be like, hi, what's the minimum age you're allowed to work in a restaurant? Awesome. You have to get a job as a dishwasher.
Yeah.
And then, I'm not saying that's what you're going to work in restaurants.
Yeah, no, I love that. I love that. That is something. Until I moved to LA and was pursuing my dream, I had jobs since I was a kid, and I did give myself fully to them as much as I could for a kid. Like, to pay, I paid for my own summer camps most of the time, so I had to like mow lawns and weed and babysit. And then in high school, I had a job to pay for my private voice and acting and dance lessons. I think that helped me to shape my approach to how I worked later in life, because I knew what I wanted. I didn't want to get stuck at the grocery store like that other guy. So I think that's great to have kids working and understanding the value of the dollar and understanding the value of an hour from a young age.
That is so critical.
Yeah.
Because the sooner you figure that out, the sooner you find your truth, you find your passion, and you're like, okay, I really love doing this. So now I can really work on this, or what this career choice, this craft, and it's like you're revealing layer after layer of yourself, and yourself keeps changing too, because like when you're 18, it's different from when you're 20, and those truths begin to change and evolve and develop, and you realize slowly, like throughout that process, there's like these universal truths or universal gems in your life. You're like, you know what, this is real. Like loving one another, being respectful. That's just a universal truth. I'm gonna always try to apply that to whatever I do, because that's something I know is intrinsically good. So I'm gonna always, seek that in whatever I do in the future. I don't know.
I love it. This is what it's like on set. Between takes, we just dive deep.
Right.
We just have these great conversations.
And that's why
I miss it. I miss it.
Don't get me started on that.
I have dreams, like 2 a week, of us just...
Of me?
Of you. Just you and me, sitting in a room, talking.
Hey, welcome to the club.
Oh my gosh.
Your member number is 3,462.
I'll take it.
That's been one of the best things about this show, and why I hope we get a season 2. It's because of the stories we're telling, the quality of work we're producing, and because you guys are fucking amazing people.
I know.
Seriously.
I'm great.
Yeah.
I know. No, but really, I mean,
like,
it's the dream.
It really is.
In
It's a full package.
Single way. It is a complete package with a bow and with extras. When's your birthday again?
October 3rd.
October. Okay. Oh.
Yeah.
Wait, did anyone... No, because no one knew that. And then that's why we went to karaoke
We were on hiatus that week, and I was like, oh, that's
Did you get a gift?
From you guys, yeah.
From
we went karaoke.
Shondaland? Did you tell them it was your birthday?
Yeah, they sent me a lovely gift basket.
Yeah, they sent me the gift.
And I was like, oh, that's nice.
I love presents.
I was like, oh, that's nice.
That's so sweet.
Thank you, Shonda. Thank you, Betsy. Thank you, Tom. Thank you, Paul. It was nice.
They're so nice. Oh, that's not the best part of it, but it's a plus. I like
it's
presents.
The only part I like. I became an actor
to get free things.
Specifically, to book work during my birthday so that the EPs get me a gift basket.
Yes. Me too.
Weird goals.
But, hey, you see it, you make it happen.
So that kind of reminds me of what I've been kind of thinking about this last week. And I wanted to get your opinion about this. as an actor, I've been reading a lot about our reviews, and you know there are some positive ones, there are some not so positive, but majority have been positive, which is awesome.
Yeah.
But I realized I don't want to hear any more reviews. I don't even want to hear positive feedback because I feel it feeds into my ego.
Yeah, totally.
Every time. Even a positive note feeds into my ego from audiences.
Yeah.
Which is great. I'm glad you're enjoying the show and it's resonating with you, and that's awesome. But it's weird. Like, I feel like if I hear that and I go, oh, that makes me feel good, the negative remark will make me go, well, why? And even if it's a critique, my ego gets hurt, which it shouldn't be hurt.
Yeah.
The only people's feedback I am concerned about are Paul's, the creator, the EPs, Tom, you know, Betsy, Shonda, and the writers, and because it's Paul's story. Does that make sense?
Totally.
So it's like, as an
Totally.
actor, my job, plain and simple, is to make sure I'm being truthful in the moment to what your story needs.
Yeah.
Once I've done that, that's all I don't need to hear that.
Right.
What do you think about that?
I think that's awesome. I think that's great. For me, yeah, I don't read the reviews. I'm not like checking them regularly. I've read a couple because every now and then I'm just curious, or I have the Google alerts on my name, so I get emails whenever there's a review. But I'll see that I have the email, and then sometimes I'll read them, but usually I don't. For that reason, because I noticed that in myself of really loving the positivity or really being upset by the criticism, and it's just not good for me. And so now that I've kind of made that decision prior to this show, just from other experiences that I've had. So now I'm at a place where if I read it, it's kind of just more entertaining, I guess. I don't know. I'm still figuring it out, but I agree. It's unnecessary to feed my ego that way. It won't do anything good. And I imagine if we were shooting still and reading these reviews and I read like, oh, I love this about Allison and blah, 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 then I'd show up and be like, and it would totally ruin my work that day, you know?
That's, you
and I
nailed it
can't
on the
take
head.
that. I can't take that risk.
No, and I
And it
was
doesn't
like,
really matter.
no, because if I'm focused, because it allows me to focus primarily when I'm shooting, when I'm working, when I'm studying, and when I'm on set, like you said. So I don't want to know the numbers. I don't want to know the positive or negative feedback. I just want to be worried about living truthfully and being artistically free in that moment. Again, I just need to know, Paul, is this what you're getting? Are you getting what you need from me?
Yeah, are you happy?
Are you happy?
Yeah.
Awesome. That's what I'm hired to do. From a strictly like business standpoint, this is my mission.
Right.
Am I doing it?
fulfilling my mission?
Awesome.
Yeah.
Great. Mission's over. Loved working with everybody. I hope we do it more, but I'm done with this. And I think it takes practice, but that's kind of where I'm starting to evolve, I feel like, with my work.
Good. I think you should be proud of yourself if you're getting to if you're getting towards the place that you want to be.
And I'm trying to, like, I guess I'm trying to bounce this off of you. You know what I mean? Because
listen, I think though that with everything there is room. Like all rules can be bent a little bit. Like for example, when we're doing the live tweeting,
I like that.
I love live tweeting, and I love that hour and a half, whatever, of like talking to the fans and then being like, I love it. Like that makes me feel good, and I feel like we've earned that, and we're directly communicating with the people that are supporting us, and that in some cases we are representing. Like I represent a very specific community when I'm on screen and my hair looks the way it does, and to hear those women and men say, oh, I love that your hair is natural, or I love this, that makes me feel good, and it's like a validation to keep going, you know? And I think that's fine. And I think every now and then if you're curious and you want to read a review, great, just don't do it every single day, and just be in tune with yourself to see how you're feeling. Yeah. I read one bad one, and it just made me laugh so hard. And it said specifically about Ben and I and our relationship on the show, Seth and Allison, something, 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 you will struggle to care. And it made me laugh. I was like, wow, you are some angry people. I think we're awesome. And then I moved on.
And that takes a lot of strength.
And that's their opinion, you know?
It is. And I think what's tough is because we realize, listen, I honestly think, and it's not, I've worked on plenty of other TV shows. And there have been some projects I've worked on and be like, hey, you don't have to check out this. Do you know what I mean? Like, where it's just like, it's okay.
It's okay.
Yeah. But this stuff, I see the amount of work and care and craftsmanship that goes into every episode.
Yeah.
All the way from Paul down to our PAs. And I'm like, this is good. This is good writing. I don't, and it bothers me, and I take it almost like somebody's offending my family when they say stuff like, like that, what you just said, struggle to care. I'm like, struggle to care? Are you watching the same fucking show I'm watching? Like, it's a very, like, protective instinct, and where I'm just like, hey, I'm like, I start going back. I'm like, no, look at this. Are you listening to this?
Yeah.
Do you know? And
well, but
that's not healthy.
To say to that, though, I love that's your impulse. Do you want to be a part of something that's not polarizing? Like, to me, something that's polarizing is a mark of how extraordinary it is. Even if you're looking at an activist or a show or a book or a theme, whatever it is, if everyone loves it, boring. You know what I mean?
Really?
In my opinion, if everyone loves something, that means it didn't take a risk and it didn't push any boundaries and it didn't bring any new ideas. Things that are important, even if we look politically, like... You know, guns are a very polarizing issue. It's very important. That's a very, like, other side of the spectrum to go. But that's just what my mind went.
I think there's truth in what you're saying. I think it's so difficult because, again, art is so subjective.
Yeah.
And sometimes when I watch a show in a certain environment, I won't like it. If I watch it by myself, with no distractions, I'm like, oh, I see what I missed that. Oh, I'm an idiot. I missed that part. Mm-hmm. So I think it really depends on the where you're seeing it, what kind of mood you're seeing it in,
totally,
the time of day you're seeing it too.
If you're tired, if you're hungry,
right?
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel like watching something live versus on DVR also has an effect, because with a live thing, you can't fast forward, so you get those commercial breaks, which I feel sometimes
it interrupts the flow.
It can, and sometimes it gives you a break.
That's true.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because sometimes you need that. And sometimes you need to reflect on something. You know, something that happened. Like a thing like, oh, shit, like that happened?
Yeah.
Oh, God, why didn't she do that? I don't know.
Susanna's epic monologue last episode. Can we just talk about how phenomenal she is? Did you know I saw her on Broadway before I knew her? And it was this whole thing that we connected about a week ago. I was in New York doing a horrible acting intensive, and it was one of the worst weeks ever, and that's a whole other thing. But I was, like, kind of depressed and sad and, like, should I quit acting because I'm terrible? And then I went and saw this play, and we've talked about the play. It was an experience. Right. But I remember her. She was so funny, and she stood out to me, and I kept the playbill. And now it's Susanna Flood, and we just realized that. And it's just one of those moments of the universe, like, teasing us. Like, someday you will work together, you know? That was an aside. Anyways.
No, she's a phenomenal actress, and...
Yeah, and person. And
whenever you compliment that with phenomenal writing from Mr. Paul Davies, like, you just got a recipe for something really truthful and an amazing moment. Yeah. And, hey, everybody, literally everybody in our cast is killing it on screen. I'm looking at it, I'm like, this is really good. And I know people are hearing this, and they're like, well, you worked on the show, that's why you think. I'm like, no, trust me.
No, I don't say that about everything that I worked on. This
is a really special show. I mean... The stuff we're talking, is it perfect? No show is fucking perfect. No, but like, it's close, in my opinion, because of what we're talking about, what the messages we're trying to show people, the stories, and like, dude, the whole housing thing that happens all the time with
with Britt's character.
Episode 2, where she talks about like the people the
being evicted.
Can you take a moment, if anybody's listening, have you ever been evicted? Have you been close to being evicted? Have you ever lived in a shitty place with a landlord who sucks? I mean, that fucking is a horrible way to live. And guess what? Some landlords are bad people, and they just want to take advantage of their tenants. Mm-hmm. And we're just bringing light to that. And that's part of our jobs, and I just love that so much. I'm going to get off my soapbox.
No, it's good. I love how much you love the show.
I'm just doing it because I have a lot of debt. I have so much debt. I need another season.
I need 2 more seasons to pay it off.
Come on, ABC.
Get it together. I think, well, what is it? It's April 1st is in 2 days, right? Or tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
April 1st is tomorrow. So we should know in about 6 weeks.
Yeah, that's about right. Well, in the meantime, keep, man.
Oh, it's my bird. Oh, no, it was a dinosaur, right?
Oh, yeah. This is your dinosaur impression.
It's a baby dinosaur.
It's a baby
It's
dinosaur.
a baby one with wings.
There's a video on the internet
Pterodactyl.
of me making a sound similar to that, but I was trying to make tires screeching sound.
Oh, just do it again. Right?
Oh, no, I can't.
It's bad?
I can't.
That's something else Susanna's good at. Sounds.
She videotaped me.
Oh, is this something?
It's when we were in New York, and I'm like,
familiar.
I'm like trying to make a tire screeching sound. I'm like,
Oh,
like
no.
I can't do it.
That's not good.
Like wherever you're, if you're in a car by yourself right now, wherever you're at,
Try it.
Try making tire screeching sounds. It's impossible. Thank you very much.
I don't know what that was.
That was a dying baby.
That was a dying baby
dinosaur.
pterodactyl. Wow. Yeah, I don't think I can make a tire screeching sound.
And it bothered me because I realized in the moment you see me, this is the longest pause.
Realizing
Yeah,
it.
I'm like,
This isn't good.
Where do I support from?
Oh man.
So what are you doing nowadays? Now that you're done with the show with me,
Yeah.
you don't have to put up with me. Are you working on something else?
Got
any projects
I
in
am negotiating for something else. I'm very excited. In the beginning of 2016, I promised myself I was going to book every job that shot outside of the United States, and then this will be the third. So
Wow.
I'm going away.
Oh, that's.
I think I
awesome.
can say where I'm going, right?
You can say where you're going. I don't think you could talk about projects.
Sweden.
Wow.
I'm so excited. It only shoots for like 2 weeks, but I'm going to go a week and a half early and just be in Sweden for 3.5 weeks.
Enjoy business class.
Thank you.
It's going to be awesome on a
so fun.
transatlantic. Transcontinental? Michael, what do you think? Is that the right way?
I think it's transcontinental.
Michael's going to look it up for us.
When I don't know, I just go transcontinental.
Michael is one of the awesome people here on the team.
The most awesome.
He helps me.
He's wearing plaid. I'm
a
a fan of plaid.
Transcontinental is actually more for trains.
Oh.
Oh.
Is it plans continental for planes?
Get out. What if I kick you out? You're like,
That's the end. You just
I hate her.
I mean, technically it is transatlantic because it's crossing the Atlantic.
All right.
Transatlantic.
Thank you, Michael.
yes, I will enjoy that business class flight. I love flying business class. It's something I've never paid for myself.
It's ruined flying for me.
I know. Just
It's
like
ruined.
Disneyland is ruined for me. Did you use your Disneyland pass?
I used it once. I'm going to try to use it again soon.
Oh, yeah. I can never go to Disneyland without it.
Hey,
It's ruined.
you got the money for a private tour guide at Disneyland? Do it.
Yeah, which I don't, but ABC does. Do you know how expensive it is? We asked our chick.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it on air.
It's expensive.
Yeah.
But it's worth it. It's worth it.
It's 30 grand. No, I'm kidding, guys. I'm kidding. No, that's actually not. I mean, it's expensive, but it's not like something insane. I'm going to make people look this up on their own.
Okay, look it up.
Because then, watch the feedback I get. You rich mother F.
I think it's ridiculous.
You think that's not expensive?
I think it's
I don't think it's ridiculous. I think it's expensive. Fair?
I think it, okay, maybe it depends how many people you have in your group. It wasn't ridiculous for my group because there were 9 of us.
Oh, yeah, then you split it.
So
9
if that
ways.
was, yeah. But if you're going like you and your mom.
Just me.
Oh my gosh, that's so creepy.
You don't say anything to your tour guide? He's like, hi, are you just the only person in your group? Yes.
Oh my gosh.
You be the tour guide. You be the tour guide, and then I'll act like the creepy guy. Hold on.
Okay. Hi, my name's Brittany. I am your tour guide today. Where's the rest of your party?
It's just me.
It's just you?
It's just me.
For this 15-hour Disneyland tour?
I want to go on Jungle Cruise right now.
Okay. Well.
No, don't talk. I just want to go.
Can I... Facts about Disneyland?
Shh. Uncomfortable.
Brittany's not being paid enough for that.
You have him for 6 to 7 hours that day. Can you imagine not talking a single word to your tour guide? You just say which ride you want.
I wonder if that would be refreshing, actually, for some of the tour guides, because they're just talking and talking and talking. Like, we loved her, and she told us so many facts. We was talking and talking,
really?
talking all day.
That's so nice.
It was super nice, and she was
Our
great.
guy was nice too.
And she was from Portland, so we were like family.
Nice.
Creepy.
We were thinking of ways for our tour. Okay, this is where my brothers and I, our mind goes a lot of times. It goes into like ridiculous scenarios that we love, and to like Key and Peele sketches almost, but like to dark places. And guys, we're gonna go to a dark place here.
Bring it.
So we thought it'd be hilarious if like just me and my brothers go, right? And we're like, okay, we're going to Disney tour, right? And then the guy checks his schedule for like the upcoming week, and he has us again every single day. And of course we would need like unlimited funds for this, but he's like, what the hell? Okay, this is weird, but whatever. They requested you. It's like, okay. He comes in the next week. It's Monday, and he's like, hey guys, good to see you again. And we're like, oh no, this is our first time here. And we keep doing that every single time. We act like we don't know him, and we act like we've never been there.
You go to the same places on the same route every single day, even to getting like those hot dogs.
Dude, and like we go, like this happens for months. Right? And then we're like,
this guy would have to be,
he would start having like a psychotic breakdown.
Yeah.
And like it goes to a really dark place where like, let's say like our guy was by the way, our guy was wonderful. He's about to get married. We wish him the best and everything. But what if it gets to a point where like he starts having a psychotic breakdown, he doesn't get to spend enough time with his girlfriend, they break up, they're not getting married, and like he becomes homeless, right? And then like this is like a year into it, right? And we keep like, by the way, every time we're there, we act like it's the same, right?
Yeah.
And like he's going crazy by like a year and a half in. He's like, what? Guys, you know you remember me, please. And we're like, and finally he's just like going along with it, right? But then we just whisper in her ear, we're like, isn't this fun? Isn't this fun? And then finally he becomes homeless, right? And then we see him on the side of the road, right?
Yeah.
And we're like, hey man, we just wanted to apologize for what we did.
For ruining your life.
We want to take you on Disneyland, right? We want to take you to Disneyland. And we take him on a tour thing, right? But at the end of the tour, it gets darker. This is so messed up. This is
you have to write a movie.
We were crying, laughing, talking about this. And by the way, we're talking about it. He's not hearing us, but he's right there. So we're all
you're
like,
talking about it at Disney?
At Disneyland.
Oh my gosh.
Dude, we're about to piss our pants. And finally, we at the end of the day where he's like enjoying all the rides, but he's like broken on the inside, you could tell. All his like former colleagues and stuff. And they just line up and they're like, like they start laughing at him. Like we all laugh at him like, we got you. And then just like really messed up, like horrible, right? And then maybe we'll give you your job back for one day, right? And then like we're like us three again, but his wife is like dating me all of a sudden or something.
Oh my God.
Right? And I propose to her there. And he's the tour guide. It's so fucking dark. Michael's looking at me like, this is my last day here at the studio. It's so messed up. And then, right?
And then there's more? How can there be more to this?
Okay.
Oh my God. Wow. I mean, right.
And then this is like the Key and Peele ending to it. Okay?
Yeah.
He's like, why? Why are you doing this to me? Why? I just go, why not? And then that's where it ends. And for some reason, that made us laugh. So Sam Jenkins is looking at me like I'm a crazy person. That's our intern. Yeah, that's where we went. To a really dark place.
Really dark Key and Peele sketch.
But that's funny, right?
I think you should make this happen.
Oh my God.
I mean, not in real life. Like for a short film or a feature film.
I think you should fuck this guy up.
I think you should go back and ruin this guy's life. Just for fun.
I love going that.
If we're not renewed for season 2, you have your next year and a half planned out. There goes all of your money. And, you'll have something to...
Oh my gosh.
To tell, a story to tell.
I love ridiculous humor like that, though.
I do too.
But some people don't get it.
They don't get it, and they're just looking at you. Isn't that the worst when you're telling a joke like that to someone, and they don't get it? And they're just...
Dude, that is It
the
makes you feel so
worst.
bad, and it makes you question yourself. But then on the ride home, I'm like, nah, that was funny.
I'm like, no, I'm amazing. That was great.
That's why I like working with you guys, because you guys don't look at me like I'm crazy when I say stuff like that.
We all get each other.
Oh
We
my
all get
gosh.
each other. We're all weird. Aren't you and Britt working on a project together?
I don't know if we're not allowed to talk about it.
Not allowed to talk about it.
Thanks for bringing that up, man. Now we can't work on it. No,
Well-
I'm kidding. No, we are. Yeah. I don't know how far along in the process it is,
I know
but
she's excited. She's
I'm
talking
excited
about
to
it.
work with her on it too. Should be fun.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We talked about you a lot last weekend at my birthday party.
Which I missed. I'm sorry, I was filming.
That's okay. I get it. Badass right here. It was really fun, and we just talked about how great you are for like 10 minutes, and yeah, just so you know, you were there in spirit.
Hey. What'd you say?
Well, let me tell
Just
you.
kidding.
Britt was like, sometimes people think I'm in love with Wesam, and I was like, me too. And we're like, but we're not. No offense, but we do. But we are.
Well, I really enjoy
It's
you guys'
just
company.
this like spirit thing.
Yeah, I think
you
we get
know?
each other.
We get each other, and you've made both of our lives better. You know what? I was driving, and I was playing the no face game. I try to do that at least once every drive. It usually only works about 2 blocks, but that's big for me.
Hey,
And it started out as 1 block. Okay, so now on the way home, maybe it'll be 3, and it really helps my road rage. So you gave me that gift. Thank you.
I just hiccuped, but thank you. For those of you who don't know what the no face game is,
changed my life, guys.
I got this from Jocko Willink, who used to play this with his kids. Basically, he takes up the cardboard part of a like paper towel, you know, like when it's done.
Yeah. The
Cardboard
roll.
the roll, but he takes a really big one, like a long one, excuse me. And he plays this game where he'll try to make them flinch, and if they flinch, he'll like smack their head with it. It doesn't hurt, people.
Yeah.
Calm down. It doesn't hurt.
You don't even feel it.
And they're not supposed to flinch whenever they get hit either, or else they get hit again. And so it's called the no face game to make the kids not react to something. So in turn, that application
smart.
can be applied to emotional things that happen to you in life. For instance, like let's say you get some bad news, or let's say there's a angry person who's in your face. Don't get rattled by that. Just no face, kind of assess the situation in a very logical manner, and then find the solution for it that way. And then you apply that to driving.
Yeah, where I do a lot of finger flipping people off, a lot of screaming, a lot of neck bulging. Not good.
No. And the thing is, when you play the no face game, like not reacting to certain, let's say a guy cuts you off, right? He does an asshole move.
Yeah.
You have the power.
Exactly. Mind blown.
Mind blown.
It's not going to affect him when I scream at him and
No, it's not.
curse him with obscenities. No. It won't affect him.
It's like this. I think I've told this analogy like 5 million times, but I'm going to say
Make
it
it
one more
5
time.
million and one.
Yeah. It's like like life is an ultra marathon, right? And sometimes you're running and maybe you step in some mud or a branch like hits you, right? You're just going to stop and yell at the branch for 2 hours.
I've never thought about that. I've never
Like
heard
a
that.
crazy person?
That's funny.
No, you
That makes
keep
no
going.
sense. Yeah.
Let's say a branch falls on you. Even worse, right? Okay. I'm going to keep going.
Yeah. Yeah. That seems so obvious.
I know. It's so hard to do, though. Because it's hard to do. Let's be real.
That makes a lot of sense. But I feel like with practice, it gets easier, right? Like, it's not as hard for you now?
No, obviously. Yeah, practice. Yeah, it's not as hard. But I think I've taught... Gosh, man, I'm having some great... Especially because my family in town. Having some great conversations with people. Finding a good motivation as to why you do what you do every day. Having a good reason for waking up in the morning. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Something you're fighting for. That the stakes are super high. That's why you got to fight for it. When you have that in your life, everything, like literally 95% of the stuff is not as important anymore. Somebody cuts you off driving, you're like, well, at least I'm safe so I can get to my destination so I can do this and blah, 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 blah. But if you don't have that in your life, I notice, then you start seeking things to make important that aren't important. Does that make sense?
It does. 100%. You got to have that void filled.
Right.
I feel like a lot of people say that happens with kids, just naturally. But you can do that for yourself, right? Like your passion, the thing that you love, or the person that you love if you're in a relationship or whatever, or your family, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Or your dog.
Being a caregiver to whoever it may be, not necessarily just family. Let's say, like, I don't like it bothers me when I see like a homeless person, let's say. You could be like, you know what, every weekend I'm devoting myself to some kind of homeless shelter or whatever. So that way you could be like, you know what, I'm really going to develop these relationships with these people who are struggling or these people who need help. And that's what I live for.
Yeah, it gives
in
you
case you don't have
purpose.
anything. Yeah, it gives you purpose.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just makes life so much better. And then that way you don't get wound up in things that are not important. Like, oh God, I cannot stand gossip now.
Oh, I hate gossip. I was fortunately raised to hate gossip.
Yeah.
So even in like middle school and it just makes me feel icky.
Especially in a work environment.
Yeah.
Because and
It's toxic.
it is because it's like hey guys, I'm trying to do my work here. Like,
Yeah.
why do I need to know something about somebody that might have happened with somebody else?
No. It's for one, it's just unnecessary. For two, it's a time suck. For three, it implants ideas in your head about a person when maybe you don't know them as well. And I hate that. Like, I don't want to hear what so-and-so did when I haven't even met this person because I want to form my own opinions and my own relationship.
Right.
I don't like walking into a situation judging people, especially if I've never met them. You know?
That is a very... It sets a negative tone because then you could be missing out on some really cool stuff with that person that could happen. That way, if you didn't have that...
Like, imagine if before I met you, I knew that you licked every set before you went on to it. I might have thought you were really weird.
Yeah.
But now that I know you, I know it's just part of your ritual.
Right. It's part of
I'm
my
glad
ritual.
that I just got to experience it.
And that people should laugh at my jokes or else...
You'll kill them. I mean, I didn't know how many people you killed, but now that I'm on your good side, I don't mind those 4,000 people in your closet. It's fine.
No, and nobody should... I dare one of the crew members make eye contact with me on
Oh,
set.
no. I mean, you
dare
don't want to
you.
make eye contact with Wesam
my
unless
contract.
you're an actor, someone up to his level.
Right.
But if you aren't, don't make eye contact with him.
No.
Because...
Set secrets,
You don't
guys. Hashtag set secrets.
You don't want to know what'll happen.
No.
If I had known all this stuff about you before I met you,
That would have...
I probably wouldn't like you.
Hey, we're just kidding, guys. Okay?
It's a joke.
It's a joke.
He doesn't lick sets.
Dead air. People are like, is it still on? Okay.
What just happened? Talking about licking things? Did she say sets? Or anyway.
We haven't, once I get back into town, get back into my routine of things, my fucking ankle has
What happened to your ankle?
My Achilles is not doing great.
Why?
My ankle feels weak. I think there's something not good with
Did you
it.
twist it?
I don't know. I think it's just something in there that's not bueno.
I'm
Once we
sorry.
get back into the swing of things, me and Britt inviting you again to yoga.
Yes, I want to go. I've heard stories about their yoga class, and I'm excited.
Shout out.
Wait, where are you going?
What?
Wait, do your shout out first.
Shout out to the yoga teacher.
Where are you
Avril at Yoga NoHo.
I keep interrupting you.
You keep interrupting me. So fucking rude. I'm so angry right now. This is the teaser for the show of you interrupting me. How about that?
That's the teaser.
That's the teaser. Congratulations,
That's the reason I'm
Yasmin.
yelling at me. Pronounce my whole name then.
Nah.
In elementary school, my friend thought it was savory, like savory cat food. She always called me Jasmine Savory. I was like, it's not savory. It's
Your best friend? Who's she?
Savoy. Her name's Danica.
You have her on your phone?
I do. Do you want to call her?
Let's call her up.
We're calling Danica. Well, she's in Thailand right now, so she might not answer. I just
Okay.
realized. Let's try.
No.
Let's try. Because now I'm just
What
curious.
if we call her and she's like, help me?
I'm just going to hang up real quick. Let's see what happens. Because she's texting me. So maybe.
Oh, shoot. It's actually working. Okay. Danica?
Danica.
Danica. Danica. Okay, can you hear this, Michael? On
Please answer.
Yeah, we can hear it.
Answer.
there?
You could leave her a message if
Yeah,
she doesn't answer.
Danica?
Yeah.
Danica, God help you.
And
if
we
you don't
always
answer.
used to
I
prank
like saying that now.
people.
God help you.
So she deserves this. We pranked our middle school teacher constantly.
Oh, yeah?
Constantly.
Your call has been forwarded to an automated
She's probably
voice
playing with
messaging
elephants.
system.
Okay, here's the prank. It's gonna be a good one. Ready?
Is not available.
We'll bleep that out.
At the tone, please
Here we
record your message. When you've finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Danica, help me! Help me, please! Awesome.
Be like,
Even better. Danica, I don't care. I'm rich. Prime time.
oh my gosh.
Oh, I
that's
love
too
being
good.
an asshole.
That's too good. Oh man.
That's going to be
that
a
was
thing
fun.
on every episode, I think.
You're gonna call someone.
That's the
on
message.
your guest's phone.
Help me! Help me!
Oh, that's too good.
Oh, man.
That made my day.
I love pranking people. And if we get a season 2,
Oh, I'm scared.
I might have to get called into Betsy's office. She's like, please stop.
No, someone, I was saying we love pranking people, and an interviewer asked me what we did. And I realized our pranks are very low level.
Yeah,
this
because
first
it's season 1.
All we do is try to break each other and get each other fired. But next season,
I have an idea. I'm going to tell you about this off.
I'm so excited.
Oh, it's going to be, if we get a season 2,
Yes.
it's going to be the kind of thing where I want people to video record it, and I don't want us, like, I want people it to go viral, and then I'll be like, well, we were kidding. Like, just cause drama for no reason.
I'm so ready.
I love shit like that.
Me too. It's
Not telling people I'm kidding
so
right away
fun. Yeah.
is the best thing. And I was just telling my uncle, why does my brain for humor go there? I love those ridiculous, like, absurd
Yeah.
stuff. There was a lady, a young lady, 20s. She looked nice. Nice as a button. I don't know why I wanted to say it like that. She was sitting in her car, and we were walking by it, and I just wanted to, like, knock on her window, and I can only do it if you can only see what I'm doing if you're on the YouTube, but I wanted to knock on her window and just be like, and then, like, walk away, like, and then walk away, like, why? And she's gonna be like, why did that guy do that? Did I know that person? I do this kind of thing too. If somebody's making a left turn, this is very dangerous for them. I go, hi, beep, 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 hi. And I'll wave to them. And they'll be like, they'll like turn around while they're turning, like, who is that guy? Whole day, they're thinking about who was that gentleman? Did I know him?
I love that so much. You would fit in my family. This is the kind of... Is it genetic? Is it something that you're born with? That
I don't
humor?
know. Maybe.
I don't know.
I don't know.
But
But I love...
It's just making people feel uncomfortable, but in a safe way. Like, you're not
Safe way.
really putting anyone's lives
No.
in danger, especially
No.
if you're doing the knocking thing. You're just making them feel uncomfortable.
Yeah. The waving thing is
Maybe
even better. Is even better. I like because
Because they're really...
it stays with them for the rest of the day. And maybe I hope they wake up in the middle of the night. Like,
Who
why?
was that guy?
God damn it! Who was? Okay, the silver Honda is that? Hold on, baby. I need to look up who has a silver Honda. No, baby, I'm looking on my phone, and they get in a fight. Can you imagine? They get in a fight. They break up with their significant other because of me.
And then you end up proposing to her at Disneyland.
Oh, dude. See, it's stuff like that
so
that ties
good.
in.
It's so good.
Oh my gosh. What was it, Michael?
I said full circle.
Full circle.
Full
Oh, I
circle
thought you were like
moment.
wrap it up.
But okay, this is getting
I
too
thought you were going like
weird.
wrap it up. You know, like, oh no, it's all good. It's all good. I was like, oh shit.
Too
Man,
good.
Too good. We're gonna stay. We're about an hour in right now. We got 4 hours left.
No,
so-
bring it on. That's why I brought my coloring book. I have an adult coloring book, and it's very helpful to the anxiety. I'm really enjoying it.
A lot of people have said that. I've heard that.
Yeah, and also then for my birthday, my friend got me a dot-to-dot.
Yeah.
An adult dot-to-dot of pinup girls. I don't know why I needed to include that part. But it's an adult dot-to-dot. And it's like hundreds. And that's really good for the anxiety, too.
Oh.
And then you have a picture.
Is that the only way you deal with your anxiety? Because I used to have really bad anxiety, and I found my solution that works. So I'd like to know if that's the
I'm
only solution
still
that works for you.
figuring it out.
Yeah.
It just depends on what it is. That's one thing that works. I found recently, sometimes my mind races so bad, especially at night before going to bed. If I overstimulate my mind, like I read something that's very smart and that's very fast paced, sometimes it'll grab my mind, and then my mind will get enraptured with that, and then it'll slow down. So reading sometimes helps, but it can't be like something simple and fun. It has to be something intense. Sometimes exercise helps.
Right.
And sometimes a good cry.
Good cry.
That can just, even my therapist has said that that can cleanse it. It just depends.
So I found for me 2 things that work. One, extreme exercise helps. Just on a physical level that in turn translates to, but it has to be extreme.
I should try that
Like
next time.
Like, my heart's never beat this fast before, and I feel like throwing up because you're forced to deal with the fact that I have to focus on this and not on that, and I just have to survive right now, physically survive, or I will die. Which I know is really extreme, but
sometimes when I'm having an anxiety attack, it is already physical. Like my body is freaking out physically, so to do something productive and still use my body, that's good in the end.
Yeah, like again, running uphill, running on a trail. Just bust out as many push-ups as you can without stopping. Burpees. God,
those
help tremendously because you do one or two, like maybe 1 to 5. You're like, I got this. For some reason, when you hit 12, you're like,
I'm dead. Yeah,
and it's 12. And then the second thing was I did a Reiki session with a friend of mine who, I'm telling you, she's an incredible actress, incredible singer, incredible artist all around, and she's a practitioner of Reiki.
Wow.
And she's a life coach as well, and her name is Rachel Ferrer. And
got her info.
She's amazing. And I did a Reiki session with her finally, and I was like, whoa, this helped.
Reiki's like moving energies, right? I know my dad used to practice Reiki, but I never tried it.
Yeah. She's not just doing that. She actually talks to you to kind of understand what's really going on with you mentally, what's your problem, and she talks with you it's almost like therapeutic too, like you're talking to a really good friend. So that helped me tremendously as well, which I didn't think it would have that kind of effect, but it did.
Awesome.
So recommend that to our listeners as well, because anxiety fucking sucks.
Anxiety sucks. It's a thing.
At least you know that other people are dealing with it too.
Yeah.
And that makes you feel better, right?
A lot of people, like, in our age group, like 30s, mid-30s under, deal with really bad anxiety. We just don't talk about it. There's just so much overstimulation with all the social media and the screens and everything's so constant. Even when we were live tweeting, I was watching the ads and thinking about this. How when I was a kid, the ads were slow, and there was a few, and it wasn't as brightly colored, and the music was like, and now it's like bam, 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 15 ads, 15 things, bright colors, loud music. It's just constant. Yeah. And that on top of constant impending doom of a third world war and gun violence. Literally, we went to see a movie last night, and there was a scene with a lot of gun violence. And then we were both stressed the rest of the movie thinking, we need to have a plan. We need to have a plan for if someone comes into this theater and how we're going to survive. Like, we're just constant. Anyway, I think that's why we have a lot of anxiety.
You hit it on the head. It has to deal with strength and security.
Security, yeah.
I think those two are intertwined. For instance, when I was dealing with my anxiety and I forced myself to go early in the morning on these morning hikes that soon became morning runs, because it wasn't easy for me in the beginning. And I was like, you know what? Fuck this anxiety. Despite how I feel emotionally and how much I don't want to do this, I'm going to still do it despite it's making me feel this way. So when I was able to accomplish that in the morning, I was like, okay, now I'm going to focus on my work, because even I beat it there, and I'm going to beat it now. And I kept doing that. It was like one small victory. But it started off with just wake up. Yeah. That's the first victory. Check. Yeah. Wash up. Check. Put on your workout clothes. Don't even think about the other things you have to do. Check. Fuck you. Like, it was like jab after jab after jab. And then finally you realize the day has passed, and you accomplished all these things. All these things, despite the way you were feeling. And so you're like, you know what? I got this. Yeah. I got this. So it's like a step and sometimes it feels like inch by inch.
But hey, that's a victory. Because there are times when the anxiety is so bad, I can't physically move, or I don't want to, or it is hard to just get up or just wash my face or whatever. So just those thinking about it as small, not even small, just one victory at a time, as opposed to like, I've failed if I can't make it out of the house by 9 o'clock. That's just setting myself up for even more self-hatred and sadness. It's just one at a time. I think that's a really great approach.
And you have to remember, it's not going to feel great in the beginning. You shouldn't think about, oh, this should be making me feel good right now. No. I had a really bad, it came back for a little bit, for about a couple weeks or so. Mm-hmm. And I would show up to the mountain and want to drive back, which has never happened to me before like that. It was that strong where I woke up and everything, and I was like, I feel like driving back. I really feel like driving back. I was like, just fucking get out of the car. Get out of the car. Just start walking. Just start walking.
Incredible.
Just start walking. And I'm like, yes. Okay, fuck this feeling. And the whole way, it was miserable. Only time it felt good was when I finished.
That's amazing.
I don't know. I'm not saying that to like, I hope it's not coming off
No,
braggadocious.
it's
I'm
not
saying
coming
that to
off in a bad
share
way.
with people so that they realize
Yeah.
they can do it too. And it's not going to be easy.
And it's not necessarily going to ever go away completely.
I think you just get stronger.
Yeah.
And that's where I find security in knowing, like, I'm strong and that I know other people are strong too. And it might just take up a little bit of time to build up your strength. But no, I truly believe everybody is strong and capable to fight off those negative thoughts and to attack and disrupt the anxiety that's ruining their life. And eventually it'll be that thing like, oh, I feel these anxiety feelings coming up. Let me make a checklist of what I have to be thankful for. Great.
Yeah.
And then what's the mission? What's the goal? Like what we sang in the beginning. What's the purpose? Awesome. I'll focus on that. This is just a rough day. I'll get through it.
Yeah. And you know something else? Saying to yourself things that you would say to your friend if they were going through the same thing. That's something I've started doing is just
Right.
saying like to myself, which even feels weird to say out loud, saying to myself, I love you. You're doing great. Like, I never say I love you to myself. I never say positive things like, you're doing great, or you're doing awesome, or hey, look at what you accomplished this year. Good work. It's okay. You know, I've never...
Yeah.
That's what I would say to my friend or my partner or whoever came to me really stressed out. Like, give yourself some credit. It's okay that you're feeling this way. Look at what you've done today. Look at what you've done this week. So trying to extend that kindness and self-love and love towards yourself.
Yeah.
We never do... I never used to do that. And it really helps.
Yes. And I want to add footnotes to what both we said.
Yeah.
There's a fine line as well, because I don't believe of making somebody feel better when they're doing something wrong just to make them feel better in that moment, because that won't carry over and
Right.
help them in the long run. I think there's a way to phrase things. Like, for instance, let's say your friend is this imaginary friend of yours. You know what? It's good that you're at least aware that there's a problem, and that's really important. And I think that's a big obstacle to overcome. But I think, what are the steps are you going to take from now on then? And how are you going to hold yourself accountable? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That fine line, because
Yeah, you don't want to just...
Because let's say sometimes people are in bad habits.
Yeah.
I want to know.
Right.
I don't know. It depends on the situation too, I guess. Does that make sense?
It does. I think it also depends on the personality. Because I feel like we're both the kind of people who
Yes.
want to grow and change and have feedback, essentially. Like, I want to hear from my friend if I have a habit or a pattern that hurts them or whatever.
Yeah.
Some people aren't open to that. So you kind of just have to assess the situation.
Oh, yeah. Some people just want to complain, and that's fine too sometimes. But at a certain point, I know I've kind of put people out of my life who've been like that, where it's like, I realized we don't have anything to talk about anymore, dude. Like, if you've complained to me, and I've asked, do you want feedback? I've given you feedback. And
Yeah.
it's like, what else do you want from me then?
Working on that in certain areas of my life. I just started listening to this book called The Power of a Positive No. And it's already changing my life. It's talking about that and just how to say no to people in a way that's effective, and how on either side of every no is a yes. You're actually saying yes to something that benefits you, and saying yes to the relationship in the end, because the only way to help the relationship is to stand up for yourself. It's amazing. I recommend it.
I like that a lot.
Constant plugging.
I was talking to Britt for coffee, and I shared with her something really personal, which I kind of want to share now since we're talking about this. I'm pretty tough on myself mentally, because there is a part of me that can easily take over. And I'm still fighting this. It's the coasting guy.
Like coasting through life?
Yeah, the coast through life guy. Because I can talk myself into coasting or doing the bare minimum sometimes. Which I know sounds, for people who know me, kind of crazy. But I can't let that guy take over.
Right.
I hate that. I literally hate that part of me. The coast guy.
Do you think that it's okay to coast sometimes?
Okay, what would be an example to coast?
I don't know. Okay, like, let's say you've been working really hard all month and you're tired and your body is letting you know that, and you've been planning on taking this exercise class this day, and then this afternoon you're going to a read through of a play, and this evening you have a dinner. It's like a full day and you're tired and you've been working really hard. Is it okay to kind of just like coast that day, to give yourself a day off? Like, you're not going to go full out in class. Even at the read through, you're like present and you're reacting, but you're not like overworking and doing it's not a final rehearsal. And then at dinner, you're not going to talk the whole time and be your usual self. You're just going to kind of listen and relax.
So this is what I would do. Let's say I really had a heavy month, right? The exercise class, sometimes it's okay. Sometimes it's okay if you're physically tired or you're on the cusp of being injured, but you can still like move. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's okay just to go through the motions. It's important to show up, I feel.
Yeah.
The table read through, knowing that I have that class and I need to do it. Definitely, I won't give it 100% because I got to save some energy. I got to make sure I supplement in between, get a good power meal or something with lots of vitamins, lots of energy. So during the table read, I can really focus. And then for the dinner, I could be like, you know what, I might leave a little early.
Yeah, it's good.
But I promise these people I don't want to back out. And then I'll see how I feel tomorrow. And if I really need a day off, I'll take it. But I'll see tomorrow morning. I won't plan it today. So that's what I mean. Because the coasting guy would be like, I'll skip the class. Table, read through, I won't. I'm just tired today, guys.
Do you find that if you do that, if you skip the one, then suddenly you've skipped them all?
Yes.
Is that why you can't? Okay, because I'm a big believer in it's okay every now and then to cancel a plan. Like,
that's fine.
I really think that's okay. But you're saying if you cancel one, you'll cancel them all?
I feel if you cancel for not a good reason.
Mm-hmm. But your own self is a good enough reason. Like, if you need a day off, if you're mentally tired, if you're feeling not enough self-love, if you don't feel well, you've got to allow yourself. That's what I'm really learning in this book. For the most part, we don't let ourselves be a good reason. Like, one example he used was your friends ask you to help them move. You've had a busy month. You're really tired. You need a day to yourself. You cannot help them move that day. But then you say, oh, but I can. I don't really need my alone time. Then you end up resenting them, resenting yourself, hating yourself. You get sick. You are a good enough reason.
Yes, you need to take care of yourself, 100%. I think it depends on the situation. It depends on the person a lot of times. Mm-hmm. But I know in my life when I implement more discipline, and when I say discipline, I mean like finding a way to make something work, commitment. I grow stronger as a person. So I had a friend recently who was moving. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, it was on Saturday. And I realized, oh, shit, I'm doing the podcast. When did he move, actually? Hold on. Let me make sure I get this story right. Because my brothers were in town visiting. You know what? I forgot what I was doing. I had plans, and my brother was in town. But I was like, you know what, guys? Can we spend just an hour and a half in helping my friend move? We could have completely skipped it because he had people. But I'm like, you know what? That hour and a half or whatever it was, that'll help a little bit. Hey, we'll stop by. And it was a surprise to him. He's like, oh, my God, thank you so much. We could have skipped that, and it would have been like, oh, my brothers are in town. I was working. And he would have totally understood.
Right.
But I found a way to make it work because he's important to me in my life.
Yeah.
So, again, depends on the person, depends on the situation.
Right.
And then afterwards, I was like, oh, you know what? I'm glad we went, guys. And I told my brothers, I really appreciate it. Thanks, guys. Like, it just makes moving easier.
Yeah.
Again, though, let's say I have been going hard for the month, working out hard. Like, my ankle is really... It's on the cusp of getting seriously injured.
Yeah, it's not good.
No, but I'm like, okay, I should give it a break, right? So it's like, okay, tomorrow I'll see how it's going. Okay, you know what? Still not great. I'm going to have to give it a break. Oh, shit. What was that? My phone vibrated, and because my phone's off. Oh, it's on low power.
Ah, it's alerting you. That's nice.
Lame. So I'm very careful of what I cancel on or what I say no to. And my rest days where I'm like, you know what? Monday, I'm not doing anything.
Mm-hmm. I love those
So
days.
that's the day I allot to that. But Tuesday, grab Tuesday by the throat.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
To make up for that day. Or let's say I'm going to have some cheesecake. Okay. But you remember that cheesecake slice when you're at the gym.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean?
Totally.
I just don't want to, because I know myself. That's a snowball effect.
Yeah.
I think we're saying the same thing.
Yeah, I think we are. But I like this. I like
Because-
engaging and hearing another way of looking at it.
It's selfishly, you got to take care of yourself.
You do. And I am someone that until now, because I'm finally fully aware of this habit of mine, so I'm changing it, but I will go so hard for like 3 or 4 months, like packed days from 9 a.m. to 11 p.m. Just go, 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 go. And then I get sick or I get exhausted and I have to sleep for 4 days straight.
Yeah.
And it's like 4 weeks on, 4 days off, 4 weeks on. I've been doing that since I moved here. And I've partially good. I should have, because I needed to be hustling. I needed to earn this job. I needed to earn my team and everything that I have. And all of the hours I've put in, because it's been 90% related to my career. But now I feel like I've earned not doing that anymore. Like, of just doing a few things every single day. Like, I think I was looking at it as quantity is quality, and now I've realized that that's not true. I need to choose quality over quantity. Like, I'd rather do 3 things today, like have a meeting with this friend, go to this writing session with this friend, and go to that audition. Just 3 things, and be fully present, and get a good night's sleep,
Right.
and also work out, and have my time to take care of myself and read that day, and spend real time, like, grooming and getting ready and not being in a rush all the time. I'd rather do that than have a packed day, but only be like 60% there because I'm thinking about the next thing I'm going to, and I'm really tired and I skipped lunch. I'm only kind of realizing that is how valuable that is.
I agree with
put
you.
a lot of pressure on myself. So when I hear you talking, I'm just in this place of being very aware of the habit I've been in and in not allowing myself time to really take care of myself until I crash. So I just wanted to make sure that's not what you're doing. It's not healthy.
And again, sometimes people's levels of what they can put in a day are different. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Definitely. I know when people they're like, you run up that mountain. I'm like, yeah, but I didn't start off running it. I started off just power walking or like just walking it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was hard. I'm out of breath in the beginning, but I've been doing it for a while. Where it's like, it's fun. It's still a challenge. It's still hard, but yeah, it's easier. But I don't know, man. I'm always thankful for life. I'm always in amazement of what life has to offer. I'm really thankful for what I have in this lifetime, and I just don't want to take anything for granted because I want to look back hopefully if I get to 40 and be like, dude, I fucking took advantage in my 30s, and now I'm 40.
Hell
I'm gonna
yeah.
take even more advantage in my 40s.
Hell yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
I think that's important. I don't want to ever look back. If I'm lucky enough to have a deathbed, I don't want to be like, oh, I wish I did that. Or, oh, I wish I made time for this. I want to be like, oh, that was pretty full. Mm-hmm. Okay, well, let's bring on the
Time
transition.
to eternally rest.
Right. Yeah, let's bring on the next life, whatever that may be. I believe in reincarnation, so like next human body I should embody.
Do you, as someone who believes in reincarnation, do you feel like you know what you were in the life before this?
No. I do believe, though, habits in your current lifetime, let's say certain kind of moral habits or certain type of moral habits have imprints on your soul, because I don't remember my last lives. I don't. But I think those imprint on you for future life or the next one, because a lot of us, it's just always amazing to me how certain families, like with lots of children, they're all unique. So different, everybody. Yeah. And I'm not just talking about like genetics wise, right? But like,
like personality and
what
they
or
like
what they're
and
inclined to do.
Yeah.
Or even twins.
Yeah.
They genetically they're the same.
Right.
But personality different.
So cool.
So it's like, oh, this child listens a lot more to their parents than this one. Why? Mm-hmm. And I know there's a lot of psychological and physical and again, some genetic evidence to suggest why. But again, this is my belief, reincarnation, and there's some amazing stories and personal experiences that I've had with friends and people who remember their past lives, and I think it's true. I think there's enough evidence out there that it's true.
Do you ever have flashes? Ever since I was a little girl, I've had flashes, like a few specific vivid flashes of a life, of these memories that are vivid, that are in my bones, in my spirit.
Wow.
And I was raised Christian, and I still 100% believe in God. That's an important part of my life. But what that means is like ever changing for me, at least at this point in my life. So I don't have a label on it, but I know I believe in a lot of things, and I'm just so open and curious to talk to people. And
Yeah.
I've always had these vivid flashes. And then something I was talking to my therapist about, or do we need to wrap it up?
No. The iPad it was just a moment me and Michael shared.
Okay, we gotta go.
Michael, she keeps
Get her out of here. Something I was talking to my therapist about, which I didn't even think until just now when you were talking about past lives, is that also since I was a little girl, 80% of my dreams, and I have vivid dreams, are escape dreams. I always wake up so stressed out. And that's something that's happened since I was 4. I can remember some of my first reoccurring escape dreams. And some of my memories from perhaps a past life are escaping horrible situations. So I wonder if that's all tied together. Not that you have the answer, just interesting.
That is interesting. And it could be. It could just.
I don't know more about this.
I don't know.
We should talk more.
We
have 4 more hours, right? So we've got time.
we have plenty of time. So I was talking with my again, great conversations this week. I've had family in town and just kind of some good family time, and I came to this. You know when they say like God is everywhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean. I had this remarkable. I don't want to say vision because it's not correct 100%. Just kind of this understanding, I think is better. I believe like I am a soul. I don't necessarily have a soul. You know, when they say, "Oh, my soul," it's like, no, I think it's just you are a soul.
You are your soul.
And that light, that what the soul is, comes from God. And I think a little bit of that, everything like from animals, that's a part of that light. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The animals, anything that, even like the material, like rocks and the earth and the universe, you know, everything has this vibrational frequency and this energy, and it's like it's made from a part of God. And I was like, oh, maybe that's what, oh man, like it just made me look at everything in a different perspective, because I've heard that before so many times, right?
Yeah.
And I believe that, but then really thinking about that in that way, I was like, oh my God, like, we're all experiencing, have you ever heard that word, like, God basically experiences, because he's everywhere and everything, this being experiences everything at the same time, everything at the same time, which is just like, what?
You know what I mean? Hard to
comprehend. So it was just an interesting thing. I don't know where I was going with this, but it was just something
Doesn't
that
make you appreciate your hikes that much more if you look at all of
my what?
Your hikes, your runs, being on the mountain and just looking at all of it and thinking about it on that level, and then being like, I am a part of this, and it's a part of me, and it
just makes you not want to harm somebody else, or you know what I mean, or be disrespectful, and in fact it does the complete opposite. It makes you want to be of service and help other people even more so, and you're more understanding of people's struggles, even if they're a jerk or whatever. It's just
it's easier to go, oh, you must be having a hard day, I'm so sorry.
Can you imagine like seeing somebody who's furious? Do you hear
guitar music?
I hear guitar music. That's really interesting.
Very pretty.
Very pretty. Can they hear us out there?
He just made eye contact.
Yeah. Is that who's playing guitar? Sam? Is it Sam? Is it Sam. The intern?
It's Pink Tie Sam.
Oh my God, Sam, we're gonna kill you. Sam, you've ruined our show. We got to start over.
He's an actor or a model?
He's an actor and a model.
Oh, I forgot he can hear us. You have great hair. He stopped playing. Okay, continue.
Jasmine, do not compliment him. It's his first day.
Your hair is terrible. Wash it better. Is that better?
I'm just kidding. He's actually a very talented guitarist. I'm just saying that to make him feel better. Can you hear us, Sam?
Yes, they can.
You can. Okay.
Oh yeah, he said.
Good. I don't care. I'm rich. Such an asshole. I'm such an asshole. I love it. I don't even know where I was talking about. It's fine.
That's okay.
But no, it's just you're just really appreciative. Oh yeah, like seeing somebody driving,
Yes.
and they're just like, you're like,
Yeah.
all right. Good luck to you, man. I don't know.
I don't know. There was something else I wanted to ask you. It's also kind of dark.
Go ahead.
But I'm just curious. Do you have a plan for if an active shooter comes into a building you're in? I've been thinking about it a lot because there was a shooting at the Americana where my girlfriend works, and it was when we were doing a panel. It was when we were doing the panel at the SAG panel.
Yes, I remember this. I thought it was a robbery, right?
It ended up being that there was a robbery. Someone was robbing a jewelry store, and the mall over at the Galleria, and then there's the Americana, and then there's Brand where she works. So it goes bam, bam, bam. And over the Galleria, there was a robbery at a jewelry store, and the security officer accidentally fired his gun and shattered a window. That's really what happened. But because of the state we're living in now with constant fear of an active shooter, everyone at the Galleria heard a gunshot, panicked, runs all across the street to the Americana. Panic, pandemonium. That spreads all the way to Brand. Panic, pandemonium. So then no one knows what's happening. People in her store freaked out. Everyone was hiding. They had to lock the doors. It was this whole thing. And I got texts that were like, hey, there's an active shooter at the Americana. Don't come here. And then a couple texts later being like, I'm okay. We've locked the doors. We're just keeping everyone safe. But it was really scary. And we've been talking a lot about it since. Like, what our plan is if we're wherever we are. What do we do? And we haven't totally figured it out yet. But do you think about that?
Yeah, it depends on the place you're at, first of all. A lot of the advice I've heard is to, get down. You know what I mean? If it's like, happening right there, find cover and don't stand still. Do you know what I mean? I know that's...
Don't stand still?
Yeah, don't stand still, because a moving target is always harder to shoot than a stationary target.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if you can blockade yourself in a room, yourself in a room. Those are the kind of things I've had. But when I say get down, that means if it's like, for instance, that fucking horrible Las Vegas thing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like, you hear them, you want to make yourself low to the ground so you're as little of a target. Do you know what I mean? Or and then you gotta go, oh fuck, I gotta find cover. That's usually the thing that I've heard of. Again, I've never been in a situation, depends on where I'm at. I do sleep with a giant knife next to me. I've always slept with one. It makes me feel better.
Yeah, we have a couple of
I recommend people getting security systems for their home.
Having a dog is the best security system, according to police, because the barking is an unknown threat. Like they can't assess. Like they could get in and get out within 60 seconds, or dewire your security system. Not to freak people out, but if a robber hears barking, they're gonna go, oh, not going into that house. That dog could kill me. Just saying. Continue.
That's I recommend that highly. There's a lot of things you can do to make yourself mitigate that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Will you always be 100% safe in this world? No.
And I don't want to live in fear.
No, go take a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu class, for instance. Make sure you're in good shape to run.
Right.
That alone. Here's the thing: if I'm ever in a situation where I have to run out of some place, I'm like, okay, I think I'll be fine.
You'll be fine.
I think I'll be fine.
Yeah.
But take a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu class. Let's say the shooter is like right next to you and he starts to pull out the gun. Do you know something to disarm him? Do you know something to? You know what I mean? It's like, oh shit, I can know that stuff. And so and I can practice that stuff daily or weekly, go to the class, so that if that time comes, I won't be super shell shocked.
Yeah, and and then adding to the pandemonium.
It's like being in a fight. Why do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu guys always roll with each other or wrestle, or you know what I mean? It's like, because when that time comes, they're gonna be like, oh, I'm familiar with this.
Yeah.
You're gonna get hurt, sir.
You're going down. Yeah.
Does that make sense?
It does. It does. Thank you.
You guys should do a martial arts class. That'll probably make you guys feel better.
I'm gonna leave and sign up in the car now. Probably.
Is
there one you recommend?
Have you ever done martial arts?
Like when I was 5, so not really.
I highly recommend starting off with find a good school for Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
I've heard one of my good friends knows someone who is a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu instructor. So I've heard a lot of good things about it. Maybe I should
make sure they're accredited black belt. At the very least, an accredited brown belt. And then because that kind of martial arts class is the one you're least likely to be harmed in.
Oh.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, if you're doing anything with striking martial arts, and let's say you're practicing striking with other people, you're gonna get hit.
And there's no striking in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu?
It's all like
It's like holds, right?
yeah, and joint manipulation, and then you're rolling on the ground, and you have to let people know, hey, I'm brand, especially like other students, be like, I'm new, so
Right.
take it easy if you
Yeah.
don't mind. If you're with a good black belt, which all black belts should be like this, it's safer to roll with a black belt than it is to roll with another white belt.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Any type of exercise or martial arts, you're gonna get dinged up every once in a
Yeah,
while.
and that's fine.
But you won't get a concussion.
Yeah.
You won't, and you could do this. I recommend the ear guards that wrestlers wear so you don't get cauliflower ear. And then just make sure you wash with the this specialized tea tree oil soap so you don't get bad funguses, because when you're rolling around with sweaty peeps.
There's probably some fungi in there.
Yeah.
All right. I come to this podcast. We cover every base. We cover all the bases. We do a prank call. I learn about tea tree soap. I mean, I want to come here every Saturday.
No. I'm kidding.
Oh, okay. Yeah, isn't Tom coming next week?
Yes.
That's so exciting.
It's going to be
He's a
very...
good dude. I love me some Tom Verica.
I do. And we got some other surprise guests that are coming on. Some really cool people. I can't wait to share with people. And
Did you get Oprah?
you know what kind of interview I'd do with Oprah?
What?
And it'd be the same kind of... I like having casual talks with people because I feel like I would have to shut off the amazement. Like if Shonda or or somebody else of that kind of like well-known notoriety came on, I would have to be super casual with them.
Otherwise, you would like poop your pants.
Yeah, like Al Pacino came on. But hey man, what'd you do yesterday?
Yeah, you have to.
I don't care about your past work. What are you doing? What did you do this week?
Yeah.
You spent time with your family, sir?
Yeah. Where are you from? Where are you from? What do you like to eat? I have to do that with auditions. Sometimes I don't, like, if it's a producer session, straight to producers or whatever. I do not look them up. Because sometimes if I go in knowing what they've done or who they are, or the director, I know that's kind of stupid, but if I am too intimidated, I'm not going to do good work. So I have to just go in like, blah, blah, blah. And then afterwards I look them up, I'm like, oh my gosh!
Yeah.
And I feel better about my work that way.
I look them up just to know what kind of style of stuff they've done
That's
in the past.
smart. That makes a lot of sense.
But, did I ever tell you what happened during the testing for this show?
No.
Yeah, it was really funny.
Oh no.
I'm testing. It's the first time I'm in testing because I tested twice. Just because my hair was too gelled up the first time.
Yeah, I believe that.
It wasn't what they wanted. So I was like, all right, come back. And so it's so funny. I start off saying my lines like, and I just go, whatever the line is. Hey, what's up? Awesome, we got it. And I start walking out, and they laughed.
Good.
And I was like, and then I was like, all right, let's do it again. And then just went back into it. Inside, I was like shitting myself because I was like, you lost it, but you can't show that.
No, and they actually loved it because no one does that.
Dude, it's such a silly thing.
It's-
But they made me feel super comfortable, honestly.
Me too. It's the most comfortable I've ever felt in a test. Ever! And have you done the test where it's like 70 people? It's like in a big theater, and
No.
it's all the... I hate that. It's this huge theater. It's all the execs. I've never booked one of those. And it's like, it's a theater, but you're doing this intimate scene. But they want to hear you, but they're taping it. So weird.
That is so counterproductive because it's like, hi, you're
Makes no sense.
You're literally making this so hard for me.
Yeah, and do you want me to book it or not? Auditions are not set up, actually, for actors to succeed. I was having a conversation with this amazing director a few weeks ago, and they're just set up for our failure. They are completely counterproductive.
Hi, we're going to test you in a stadium. Excuse me?
We want you to project. We want them to hear you at the top row. But remember, this is an intimate scene. Your grandfather's dying.
Yeah. Be careful. There's an echo, too. Literally, I stopped an audition once in a room, and this was when I really started getting comfortable with auditioning. Literally, I'm doing the audition, and it's like this, because sometimes.
No.
And I was just like, I'm so sorry. this room is so echoey. Like, I stopped the audition with the casting. I was like, this is the most echoous room I've ever. And she was like, I'm so sorry. I'm like, it's fine. I just have to start over because that threw me off completely.
Yeah.
So if you see me staring off, it's because I'm waiting for the echo to stop. And she laughed. You know what I mean? Like, it was like one of those things. Like, you got to realize, like, you got a shitty room to audition in. Yeah. Find another one, please.
You're not going to get the best work out of your actors.
Dude, it's just funny how it's just the way our business is.
I know. It's so silly. Or even the whole idea that most of the time you go into an audition and you have one take, maybe two, maybe three if some casting directors are amazing and they'll like work with you, but you have this one take. You're going to do 30 takes on set. It is not, and it's not a play. It's not like this is a 90-minute run and I'm all warmed up because I got here early and we all warmed up as a cast and now it's one. No, it's not like that at all. It's like show up, you sit in a sterile room for 45 minutes. They're running behind and it's really cold and you're hungry and the bathroom is, and then you go in and okay, go ahead.
I can't stand looking at the other people. The other actors?
Depends on my mood because sometimes I found if people are really nervous, if I like give a genuine smile and it kind of disarms them, if I make someone else feel better, then I feel better, you know?
I just don't, I used to go through phases. One would be like, I'm going to destroy all of you. And then one where it's like, I don't really want to see you guys. Or like, shit, or that guy's probably going to get it. And then I was like, I'm just going to do me, the best of me, because nobody else can do me. That's what I found works out the best. But then I'm like, I feel your energy, like literally everybody's energy in the room. I can start feeling that. And I'm like, guys, like I need to like go in the hallway somewhere far away. And then the people who want to talk to you, I'm like, hi.
I know.
It's a job interview, sir.
Yeah.
I really.
Well, I have a friend that does that. Giovanna Depot, we played brother and sister on The Leftovers.
Yeah.
That's a whole funny story. But he, for auditions, he goes in the bathroom. He gets there really early and he locks himself in the bathroom, like in a stall by himself until it's his time to go in. And he booked Fences and he booked Overlord and he's doing all these amazing things because that's what works for him. He does not want to be interrupted.
He's pooping?
What?
He's pooping?
He's pooping. He's just always pooping.
What's his name?
Giovanna Depot. And
What a name.
It is quite a name.
He's very unique name.
He's British and Nigerian.
Giovanna Depot.
Yeah. Yeah, anyway.
Sorry.
But he locked himself in the bathroom for that reason. And I was
smart.
like, dramatic, but that actually works for him.
That's really smart. Sometimes I listen to the music my character would listen to on the way to the
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. But most of the time it's like hard rock. I'm imagining I'm fighting a battle and just getting pumped up for the audition.
That's good.
Yeah.
Like you're destroying the audition.
Go in there, kick the door open. Wesam Quiche, represented by... No, I'm kidding. I don't do it.
I have imagined that a few times where it's like an audition I didn't get invited to, but I really want the role. So I go in, I open the door, I'm like, I'm JASMIN Savoy Brown. I'm right for this. I'm going to read for it. And then I book it, and they're like, why didn't we bring you in? And then I win an Oscar, so...
There was an audition I went into, and it was a testing, and I was getting notes from everybody in the room. And they even caught themselves doing that because they were like, all right, you got all that? I'm like, can we get some more notes? I didn't get it because
it was too many.
Not just too many, sometimes contradictory.
Yeah.
And then it's like, well, now I'm not doing what I can do best.
Sometimes,
and then it's like, maybe I'm not your choice.
No, literally, there have been times where the notes make no sense. So I just say, got it. And then I do the exact same thing I did before. And they're like, yes.
That is funny.
It's happened like 3 times. I'm like, y'all are dumb.
Sometimes it's funny whenever they have that intent. You know what? Actually, it's a very smart and cunning move on your end because it's like, all right, you're just going to have that in your mind. And I'm just going to go, okay, sure. And I'm going to do like what you did. Mm-hmm. And then because they have that in their mind, they're going to
see it.
Imprint it.
Exactly.
And you're like, that was it.
If you just really validate, now they're learning all our secrets. Sometimes I do take notes, okay? But sometimes if you just really validate the note giver.
Yeah,
really
mostly in auditions.
In auditions. Yeah, on set, I'll do everything.
Yeah.
But especially in an audition where it's like, you're clearly not being respected or you don't feel good or whatever. Really validate them. Yeah. Yes. Thank you. Yes. Okay. And then do the same thing.
Yeah.
And they saw it because you made them feel good.
Like, this is what I do. Can you give me like casting director? Can you give me?
So, I really liked what you did on the first line, but the third line, I really want you to take a stronger beat halfway through.
Okay, got it.
I bet you book all of the jobs, don't you?
Can you imagine their face?
That's too good.
Jasmine, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Oh
This
my
was
God.
so much fun.
I'll definitely have you back on.
I'll be here next week. Tom's not coming.
Michael?
I'm going to get here before him.
Don't.
Sorry, Tom Verica. It's canceled. Then why are you here? To tell you it's canceled.
She's drunk.
Bye.
She's slurring her words, obviously.
It's canceled.
Oh my god.
Sober. I am sober 2018.
I remember this.
Except for my birthday. I had a glass of wine because it was my birthday. But other than that, sober
Unmitigated
2018.
discipline in all your daily life.
It's my birthday. That's the one.
That's okay.
One glass the whole year.
Okay. You can do it.
I'm proud of
It's
myself.
not a big deal. I mean, it's not a big deal because you can do it. That's
exactly.
how strong you are.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't since. And I won't.
Yeah.
It feels really good
Yeah.
doing this sober thing. Anyway, you were thanking me for being here. Keep going.
That's our show. That's how.
What does your hat say?
Titleist.
I thought it said
It's
titties. And I was a little confused.
Titties.
Maybe I am drunk.
Thanks for coming on, Jasmine.
Thanks for having me.
And yeah, we'll have you back on.
Yeah, I'll be back.
Michael, we're out, dude. Wasn't that great, Michael? It was a good episode. Jasmine's awesome. But the social media people outside the window where we record are trying to be weird and make me laugh or be funny. It's not going to work. You know why? Because I'm rich. Sam, I'm rich now. Super rich, Michael. Anyway, thanks for Jasmine coming on the show. It was a blast. We got Tom Verica coming up next week. And thanks to Adobe Radio for being just awesome. Thanks to Nice Guy Digital, because we part of the Nice Guy Digital family. Be sure to check out their other shows. Check us out on iTunes. Make sure you subscribe. If you're listening to this, you're probably listening on iTunes usually. And also, if you're watching on YouTube, subscribe to the Nice Guy Digital family on YouTube. I think it's Nice Guy Digital, right? Yeah, it's Nice Guy Digital. Who else should we thank? Our freaking listeners. Thank you guys. We really appreciate listening. We love you. Hit us up what you think of the show or not. Just listen to it. That's cool. Michael, we out.